Exceptions. There are 3 exceptions to Beef Checkoff assessment collection. The first exception is the non-producer status exemption. If a person or company owns cattle for 10 days or less, purchases the cattle to facilitate the transfer of ownership to a third party, and certifies that any checkoff dollars due from the previous owner have been collected, then that person qualifies as a non-producer and the checkoff assessment is not due when the qualified cattle are resold. However, the reseller, the non-producer, must submit a document certifying that the cattle sale qualifies for the non-producer's status exemption. The second exemption is an organic exemption. In the 2002 Farm Bill, Congress created a process exempting organic producers from paying checkoff program assessments. To claim the organic exemption from the checkoff assessment, producers must request the exemption annually and present a certificate of organic exemption form to the person responsible for collecting the checkoff assessment. Producers can also choose to prepay the checkoff assessment when shipping cattle out of state for feeding and still retain ownership of the cattle. This allows the producer to direct half of the $1 per head national checkoff assessment to the Beef Council in the state where the cattle were raised, rather than the state where the cattle will be fed. When these cattle are ultimately sold to the packing plant, no additional assessment is due. To prepay the checkoff, producers complete a Certification of Producer-Directed Payment of Cattle Assessments form, and a copy of the form goes with the cattle to the feedlot and finally to the packing plant. Producers in states like Hawaii often use this when cattle from Hawaii are shipped to the continental U.S. for feeding. To claim any of these exemptions, the person selling the cattle must provide the proper document to show that the checkoff assessment is not due at the time of sale. Thus, the rule of thumb for all cattle sales is that the person paying the producer should collect either a dollar or a document.